Here we go. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average mentor that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is I'm going to try to explain to you what it actually means to be a man. The lack of fatherhood and the lack of personal development and professional development that I have seen in my career and throughout my life has led me to making this video. So if you gain anything from this video, or a reminder of something that you've been lacking, just leave a comment down below. Yeah, this is just going to be a discussion that we're going to have. If you want to support the channel, there's links in the description for the Patreon. It's only $5 a month to keep this content going. Normally, I post content on battle drills and gun content, but today I feel like this video needed to be said by somebody, so I guess I'll say it. So yeah, check the Patreon out. It gets you access to a Discord server where you can find buddies to train with and to game with and get further advice on how to be a man. Like the video. If you found any sort of value in this video, let me know in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get into it. So I got a checklist here. These are just things that I think will help guide through this discussion. And you can kind of follow along. If someone wants to help me out down below and leave a comment for the algorithm to actually pick out when we're discussing certain things, you can check it out. I guess I don't have a drink for the video, but the gun for this video is the Staccato C2. Okay, I'm carrying it in a T-Rex Arms inside the waistband holster. Okay, so let's just go through how to be a man. So a checklist, a discussion, things that you need to think about to be a man, okay? These are things that I've been taught in my life and things that I've applied that have helped me be successful in my life. So first and foremost, posture. When we're talking about posture of a man, I see it all the time. I see it a lot at work, and I see it a lot throughout my day-to-day life. I even see it in the gym. A lot of men, okay, just because you're a male doesn't mean you're a man. So what I would encourage you guys to do is after this video, you need to act more like a man and behave more like a man. Because it's time that this country and this world needs hard men. So posture, I see a lot of times where guys are kind of hunched over, they're not really standing up straight, they're kind of in their little like protective bubble and they're not presenting themselves as a man. If you want to be a man, you need to present yourself as a man. If you're in a room full of people, you shouldn't be curled into the corner. You shouldn't be on your phone, just trying to be this beta. You need to stand up straight, stick your chest out, and present yourself like a man. You shouldn't be on your phone. The only time you should be on your phone is if you're doing something for work very briefly, or you're just answering a text. You shouldn't be over there scrolling, especially in a public setting. You should be presenting yourself as a man. So stand up straight, pick your head up, stick your chest out. Even try it right now while you're watching this video. Stand up straight and present yourself in the way that you think a man should stand. On that same token, hair. You need to have a fresh haircut. Every 2 weeks, you need to get a haircut minimum. Every 2 weeks, okay? If you look like trash, you're going to act like trash, and people are going to think that you're trash. So get a haircut. Get a good fade. Keep it somewhat in a reasonable length on top. Have a respectable haircut, okay? Comb your hair in whatever manner that you like. You can still style it, but you need to get a haircut every couple weeks, okay? At a minimum, you need to have some sort of respectable haircut. I don't know how many guys I see, it seems to be the trend where they just have a really overgrown beard and really just baggy hair, right? Just unkept hair. You need to have a haircut. You need to look presentable. If you want to be a man, you want to be respected, these are the things you're going to have to do. Clothing. Okay, I'll just tell you my typical attire is either what you see right here, jeans and some sort of comfortable shirt, or I'll wear a flannel or something like that with some pretty good shoes, maybe some Adidas or Reebok shoes, or if I'm hiking, some Salomons, or if I'm in the gym, some nice Nikes. You need to present yourself with your clothes in a manner that you would want to hire somebody. If you're having a first impression with somebody and you look like trash, even when I go to the gym, I'll throw on a flannel just for the drive there. A lot of people will call it a pump cover. I get it. There's a time and place to be comfortable. But throughout your day-to-day life, your outfit should be somewhat representative. You should have clean clothes, respectable clothes. You need to present yourself like a man. If you're going to wear some sort of hat, have a respectable hat, okay? Don't have anything that's going to be otherwise cringy or something that somebody would not respect, okay? So that's kind of just attire. Have some casual clothes, have some business casual clothes, and have a suit. Have a suit always on hand. Okay, you're a man. If you're going to be a man, you need to, if you want to wine and dine somebody, or you want to go to an event that needs to be, that you need to represent yourself, you need to have a suit on standby. And if you're in the comments saying, I can't afford that, if you want to be a man, you need to work for what you got. If you tell me you're poor, I'm going to tell you you need to work for what you got and you need to work harder. Don't come in here telling me you're poor. I'm just going to tell you to work harder. I have been poor, and I had to work harder, okay? That's just the way it works. So don't come in here telling me you can't afford a suit from Goodwill or whatever, or a Men's Warehouse, okay? So hair, clothes, and posture. Eye contact. If you're, we'll just use the gym or work. Let's say you're at work. You need to make eye contact with people. You should never be looking down. If you're walking down the sidewalk, that every time somebody passes you, you should say hello. Make eye contact with them. If it's another man, you need to let him know, I see you. I see you. I'm looking at your hands. I'm making eye contact with you. I'm not going to shy away from you. Okay? I'm not going to be confrontational, but you need to make eye contact with everybody. Okay? And I got a secret. Females like that. They like that assertive way about dudes. Okay? They don't want a soft person that won't even make eye contact. If you're walking down the sidewalk or you're walking around the hallways of your work, you need to stand up straight. You need to make eye contact with people that you pass in the hallway. You need to say hello, good morning, good afternoon, hello ma'am, hello sir. Okay, you need to make eye contact and you need to know where their hands are and what they're doing at all times, okay? Be assertive, be respectful, never shy away from making eye contact with somebody. That's the first dead giveaway that you're dealing with a beta or a boy. You don't want to be a boy, you want to be a man, stand up straight and act like a man. Eye contact is huge. Relationship, this is gonna be huge because I know a lot of my audience is in my same age demographic. I'm gonna tell you what I wish someone would have told me a long time ago. You do not need to be in a relationship with somebody to be happy. It is okay to be alone. It is okay to develop as an individual person. You do not need to seek out a relationship just to fill a void. If you're going through a breakup or you're going through a divorce, you do not need to rush into a relationship. You do not need to have casual sex just to fill that void, okay? So if you are not in a relationship, it's okay. Better yourself. We're gonna get to that in a little bit, but be the best man and the best dude that you can be. You do not need to fill a void with a female, okay? Or whatever you're into. You do not need to fill that void. It is okay to just be a man and just live your life. You do not need somebody to fill that void. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. It's not on the board, but I want to talk about it. You should be able to make a YouTube video like I am today. You should be confident enough to give a speech. You should be confident enough to speak in front of audiences. You should be comfortable being uncomfortable. If 100 people, if 1,000 people, if 10,000 people see this video, I'm talking to you. It could be on your living room TV. It could be with a group of dudes, whatever, right? It could be with friends, family. Doesn't matter. What the point is, you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. It's part of being a man. It's part of being an adult. So if you have not practiced your public speaking, you need to work on it. You need to work on being uncomfortable in front of crowds, okay? And being in crowds, okay? So with relationships, the last thing I'll say about that, don't pick out a 6 out of 10 person if you deserve a 10 out of 10 person. All of you deserve a 10 out of 10 person. And by the end of this video, you'll see how you're gonna be a 10 out of 10. Even if you weren't gifted genetically, there's ways that you can be a 10 out of 10 person and a 10 out of 10 man. So don't fill a void with a female that is a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 female. No, wait for that 10 of 10. You deserve a 10 of 10, okay? So you need to wait for it. The opportunity will present itself. Do not rush into a bad relationship. And if you're in a bad relationship right now, it's okay to take a step out of it and leave that person. If you're not happy, you're only gonna live for maybe 65 to 80 years, most of you. You need to be happy with the time that you have. You need to have a partner that is your best friend. So if you're not with your best friend, if you're not happy, if you're not doing the things that would make you happy and make her happy, you need to leave that relationship, okay? If you're in that situation right now, I would encourage you to communicate efficiently and effectively with your spouse or with your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You need to talk to them and say, I'm not happy, you're not happy. I think it's time to cut this now. Okay, it's not healthy, and just leave it. Don't try to foster an unhealthy relationship just to say you're in a relationship. Friends, this one's a heavy topic for me. I'll say this. Also, try not to ever cross your arms, because what it does is it communicates to the person you're talking to that you're closed off or you're trying to move on. But posture is important, okay? And just one last thing on posture. If I'm talking to you in a real setting, I need to be presenting myself to you so that way you can actually know I'm engaged with the thing that you're trying to tell me. I'm not actively walking away. That's going to be huge. Let's talk about friends. You can outgrow friends. Most of you probably have friends that you have realized that they have major flaws or beliefs that you do not agree with. I would encourage you to let those people go. And we're going to talk about it in a second. But if your friend group is stagnant, or they're not successful, or they're not bettering themselves, or you just don't agree with their beliefs and their opinions, it is okay to step out of that friend group. You do not need to continue. Same thing with the relationship. If they're dragging you down, if all they want to do is go to the bar and get wasted every night, they're never going to the gym, they're not studying, and when I say studying, I'm not just talking about high school and college. I'm talking about as a person. They're not studying, they're not bettering themselves. If they're just bad, relatively bad, lazy people, you need to step out of that friend group. I have ditched a lot of friends. The friends that I have now in my life are the real ones. If you're one of the real ones, I'll call you at some point. We're gonna get into that, but I'll call you at some point in the next week. But the real friends are the ones you want to keep close. You don't want to keep fake people around you. You need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. It's okay to tell somebody goodbye. There's 7 billion people in this world. You don't need to be friends with everybody. The people that you are friends with should be your ride or die. They should be the person that if they get a text at 2 in the morning, that they're already on the way over to your house. You get what I'm getting at? They're the people you call. You should call them on your way to work. You should text them. You should check in. If you're not doing that, then they're not actually your friends. They're just an acquaintance that you're filling a void with. So it's okay to cut friends off. I only want you guys to surround yourself with people that are studying, that are lifting, that are bettering themselves emotionally, spiritually, physically. If they're a stagnant, lazy piece of you-know-what, leave them behind. They are simply holding you down, and it's time to be better, okay? So I have left friend groups. I have told people the way I feel. It has burned bridges, and I'm okay with that. You should also be okay with that. It is okay to leave, okay? In the room. If you are the strongest person in your friend group, it's time to get out of that friend group and find a better one. If they are all great humans, you can continue to be their friend, but it's time to, you want to surround yourself with people that are stronger than you, faster than you, smarter than you, because guess what's going to happen? You're going to get to that level. You're going to improve to that level. Everyone's going to grow. And you should tell your buddies, hey, you need to find people that are more competitive. It's okay to have people that are weaker than you and that aren't as smart as you in your friend group, but they should be developing. If all you ever do is go hang out with the guys that you know you can outshoot on the range, if you're going to the range and you say, I can always outshoot this guy, I can always outlift him, I can always, outdebate him. Well, guess what? It's time to find new friends, okay? Just ensure that you're not just remaining stagnant. If you find yourself in a room of people that you feel like you're the most professional, and it's okay to have fun. It's okay to laugh. You should laugh with your friends. But if you feel like you're just the only person developing as a person and the other people are just remaining stagnant, it might be something to consider to move on. Perfection. Perfection is impossible, but it's what we all should strive for every day. Every single one of us should try to be perfect. It's never going to happen, but you should be as close to perfection as possible. Don't accept failures. When people say, I messed this up, it's okay. It's okay to fail, but you need to strive for perfection as a man. Your family deserves it, and you deserve it. Those that you take care of, those that you surround yourself with, they deserve perfection, okay? It's okay to make mistakes, but you should strive for perfection in everything you do. The perfect lift, the perfect dry fire routine, the perfect way to minimize and maximize your day so you can spend the most efficient time working and the most efficient time relaxing with friends and family, okay? So, perfection. You should strive for perfection. You may never achieve it, but the perception of those around you, for those that you associate with, should always think of you when your name gets brought up. The words that should be synonymous with your name should be expert, professional, perfect, man, aggressive, ownership. These should be words that are synonymous with you. If it's not, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I feel like a failure, I'm not living up to my full potential. If you are honest with yourself today, you can start to strive for perfection, find friends that are good for your circle, cut off that relationship that's not working, and start working on the things we've discussed so far. So strive for perfection in every single thing you do. One way I've had to work on perfection is and I'm not perfect, I've had to slow my cadence of speech because I'm very much an aggressive, fast-talking, fast-paced person, both as a drill sergeant leader, as a regular drill sergeant, as a non-commissioned officer, as a brother, and every other role that I fill. I speak really quickly, so for some people, they can't understand what I'm saying because I'm talking so quick. So I've had to work on that, because if I'm saying something that I feel is going to be useful for somebody, I need to slow my cadence of speech. That's just a small example of something I've had to work on. Dry fire. You should be dry firing. All of you should be carrying a gun every day, all the time. If it's legal and you have the training to do so, you should be carrying a gun all the time. But you should be dry firing every freaking week. Some of you are not dry firing. You need to be a man. You have to dry fire. 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 If you're not dry firing, I need you to fit it into your schedule. Dry fire could save your life, okay? Weights and health. If you're fat or if you're underweight, you need to work on it. You're not a man. A man does not let himself go. A man does not become complacent. A man does not skip the gym because he doesn't feel like it. A man lifts weights or runs or whatever your thing is and takes care of his posture. If you want to be a man, you need to take care of your health. You need to have appropriate dieting. If you don't know how to do it, you need to ask me. If you need to ask somebody that can help you, okay? You need to take steps to becoming healthy. If right now you look in the mirror and you say to yourself, I am not healthy, then you're not a man. Men take care of themselves. Boys become complacent. Manners. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Excuse me. Hello. Greet people. Greeting of the day should be part. Every time you run into somebody for the first time that day, good morning. How are you doing? How's the family? How was your weekend? Some of you guys are like, some of you guys are going to say, I'm an introvert. I don't want to talk to people. You need to be a man. It's time to grow up. You need to present yourself as that professional, okay? Even if you're not trying to get a job or trying to get some sort of evaluation, you need to present yourself in a way that people want to respect you as an expert. It's okay to be funny. People that know me, they generally say I'm funny and extroverted because I don't care that I don't know you. If you're in the gym, I'll say good morning. I'll wave at everybody as they come into the gym. I'll greet you. I'll fist bump. I'll say stuff to everybody I come in contact with because I'm a man. I need to make sure that they are okay, that they know that they are aware of my presence. I'm going to make eye contact with them. I'm going to smile. I might make a joke. I'm going to touch base with them. That is what a man does. If you're going on a date or whatever, if you're ever with your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, you open the door for them. If you're walking towards the door and you know someone's behind you, you hold the door for them. These are things you do. You say thank you. You say please. You don't get aggressive. You always remain in control of your emotions and you always have manners. That is what men do. Men are charismatic. They smile. They make eye contact. They hold the door open for people. They say good morning. They talk to people. They remember, hey, if you talked about your kid's baseball game, I'm going to ask, hey, how was the baseball game? How'd Timmy do? You remember names. If somebody introduces themselves to you, you need to remember their name. I know it's hard to remember everybody's name. You need to write it down in a notebook, put it in your phone notes, some sort of way to remember. Okay, accounting, Tim from accounting. Okay, Tim from accounting, Tim from accounting, whatever. Have some sort of device to remember people's names. There is nothing worse than you forgetting somebody's name when that person is investing in you. If that person comes to you and says, hey, how's your range session go? And you can't remember their name, you have failed as a man. So, manners. You need to have manners. Take care of your girlfriend, take care of your wife, open the door for her, do that. Now, with that being said, manners kind of ties into confidence. You're not paying the bill every time. You're a man. You're not a checkbook. You're not a bank account. If you're going on a date, you need to split the bill 50-50. You're not paying the bills every single time. That person you're dating is not your responsibility. Even if you get married, that person, yes, is under your protection and your watchful eye, but that they are not a burden. You should not reduce yourself to a number on a bank account, and you should not be paying for every single date. You're a man. You need to have confidence. You need to exude confidence. Just because history says, oh, a gentleman always pays. I don't subscribe to that at all, okay? You should not be paying for everything. If that person, remember when we talked about quality relationships, if they value you and they value your input and they value your time and your presence, then you need to allow them and tell them your expectation is you're not going to pay for every date, okay? Confidence, we kind of talked about it. You need to be funny. You need to get out of your shell. Even if you're an introvert, when you're out in extroverted situations or social situations, you need to be confident. You need to be overly confident. Anyone that knows me in real life knows that dude is confident. I'll get out there, I'll call cadence. I'll make my presence known. I'm a very confident person. It's probably what led to this channel. You need to be a man and you need to be confident. You need to exude confidence in everything, both in training and real life application. You need to be confident, okay? That's what men do. Men exude confidence. Boys cower away from a challenge. Be confident. Remember, it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to never try and strive for perfection. Listen more than you talk. If you're 18, 19, or younger than that, if you're a young man, okay, you need to listen. You don't know anything. Listen to me. You don't know anything. You don't know what you don't know. You need to become an expert in your field. The way that you become an expert is you take information from experts and then you become a better version than them. But the only way you become a man is if you listen more than you speak. Don't cut people off. If someone's in the middle of explaining something, just because you think you know where they're going with the explanation, don't intercept them and cut them off and interrupt them and try to finish their sentence for them. Listen more than you talk. But remember, remain confident, remain respectful, have manners, but you need to listen. If all you're ever doing is talking and never listening, you're not developing as a person. So for all you young men out there striving to be an expert and a professional, listen more than you talk. Never assume someone's level of knowledge. Try to avoid saying things like, you know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean, oh, you've seen this before. Don't ever say that. Don't ever assume somebody's level of knowledge. They may not know. And the second you say, oh, you already know what I'm talking about, you've seen this before, guess what you just did? You have assumed their level of knowledge, and if they didn't have that level of knowledge, they're never going to tell you. Because most people are boys, they're not men, okay? You watching this video, you will be able to easily identify the next time you're in a meeting and someone says, oh, you guys know what I'm talking about, we've all seen this before. The person that has never seen that before, that's a boy, and they're too shy to raise their hand and say, I've never seen that before, I have no experience with this field or this subject, guess what? They're not going to say anything. So never assume somebody's level of knowledge. Small circle. I would rather have five dudes that are close to me, that have the same belief system, that are striving for excellence around me, than 100 dudes that are weak, soft, barely can fill their own boots, okay? So keep your circle small, and the people that you surround yourself with, you need to call them, talk to them on a weekly basis at least. Check in with them. How'd this thing go? Whatever. Keep your circle small. And remember, it's okay to cut people out of your life. Mentor, coach, and counsel. Mentor, coach, and counsel. These are what men do. These are tasks that men do. Men are mentors. Men coach people. Men counsel people. If you think you're a man and you are not actively mentoring somebody, coaching somebody, and counseling somebody, you are not a man. I'll say that again. Mentor, coach, and counsel. Okay? A mentor is somebody that is not in someone's direct field or chain of command, but can help better them and broaden their horizons because you are an expert at something they're attempting to do. A coach is somebody that develops a specific plan, and you tell them exactly how to get from point A to point B with this specific plan. A counselor is somebody that explains why they did good and why they did bad, or explains to them a pathway through counseling. This is the difference between mentor, coaching, and counseling. If you think you're a man, but you're not mentoring, coaching, and counseling people that you could be and being mentored, all of you should have a mentor as well. So you need to seek out a mentor or some form of mentorship. You are not a man unless you mentor, coach, and counsel. Okay, guys, that's a lot of talking. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider going over to the Patreon. Giving $5 a month is less than a cup of coffee a month. And guess what? It keeps me motivated to continue putting out content. My schedule is extremely busy as a drill sergeant. So if you want to see future content, please consider becoming a member of the Patreon channel. Like the video. And guys, if you feel like somebody could value from the information we discussed here today, consider sharing this video with them. Until next time, it's going to be Trench Grenade, your average mentorship class enjoyer, signing out. Cheers.